Hi class, good morning. It's Wednesday, September 1st, and I know it's a third day of classes, and many of you have completed several assignments. You've picked up some geology lab kits here from the lab, and here I'm looking at our home page, and so we have two sections. We have section 195 and section 196, so this will be for both classes. Just a couple of things I want to point out. Most of you have already navigated through the course already, and you can see you've completed assignments already here. So the home page, I have the intro video that I'm making now. I have this lab opening kit video here. You've read my instructions about when to pick up the lab kits. I'll be here all week. I think today I'm here till 3, and then Farida, my associate faculty, will be here till 5. And then for Thursday and Friday, we'll be here till 3, right? I think I said 9 a.m. to 3. So you need your lab kits this week because the first lab requires a topographic map that's in that lab. The syllabus, you've read through this. There's a syllabus quiz. Make sure you read the syllabus and then take that syllabus quiz. It's due Sunday, right, September 5th. Remember, every assignment, every weekly assignment will be due on Sunday nights, September 5th, September 12th, the 19th, the 26th, and so on, right? You can see exam 1 is. So these dates are all posted on the syllabus as well. But I'm going here to the modules because this is where I want you to go to navigate through this course, to complete the course, because this is where the information is, this is where the course is presented. I know that in the syllabus there's, at the bottom down here, and it's a little, some students end up going down here, so I have the schedule here, but down here you can see there's this course summary with weekly assignments that are due, and it's a good way to kind of go in there and see, oh yeah, these are the things that need to be turned in for this particular week, and it should be updated all the way through the end of the semester. But make sure don't click on these. I mean, you can, but don't. You want to get to these assignments from the modules tab, not from here, right? Make this more like a checklist. Okay, I need to do all these things for this week. Although I have that already in the learning guide. So make sure you go to the modules, and then you read the learning guide. So the learning guide is really, this is the checklist. I need to do all these things this week, right? And so get those done. Many of you have already done this, right? Back in the modules, we go back here, and I had an email from a student. So, when you're doing the labs, I have this tutorial. And I used to use this service called eScience Labs, and they produce these beautiful lab kits, some of which I've modeled my lab kits after, but their lab kits are like $200, $180, so they're very expensive. and there were shipping problems too. People would order them and it'd take 2-3 weeks for them to get their kits, and so it was really a problem with the lab kits, and very expensive. High quality, good stuff, and they put a lot of effort and work into their lab kits and putting out these tutorials. But I have access to the tutorials, and I've included them here in our class because it's a good way to kind of make you see, or have you see, the material I present in a different way, right? It's good to have different sources and seeing how people are looking and talking about these different assignments that we're going to be doing. But you go through this tutorial, and there is a quiz that follows the quiz. So the next topic here would be that pre-lab topo quiz based on this material that's presented in the tutorial here. But then at the end here, let's see, it says assignments and procedures. Yeah, you can take the quiz here on their tutorial, and I think I take these same questions and I put them on the Canvas quiz for us. So if you do them here, you get kind of a practice to do them beforehand. But you can see there's these assignments and procedures. So don't print any of this, don't download any of these, because these are if you have that expensive kit. So they're not going to work with our kit. So obviously you don't want to download, so put a big X there, no, for this stuff. Just go through the tutorial assignments, but don't download those files. The ones you want, in fact, here's a quiz, but let's go to the actual lab here. So here's the lab. So the ones you want my assignments right here. And these are going to be based on the materials that are in your lab kit, like the maps and the beakers and whatever I've put in there for those labs. And then you can see that for the maps lab, I have the full lab, right? So, which is like 18 pages. Just download that on your computer, and you can read the text and the directions and procedures for completing the lab. But you can see that for the labs, I also have these lab answer sheets which are only like 6 pages. So these are the ones you want to print. And these are the ones you want to put your work on. In fact, let's see if I can click on this. Yeah, so yeah, and you can see it's just those sections of the lab that require input, where you have to write something in there, right? And yeah, so this is all you really need to print, and then you want to submit the lab answer sheet. Although if you do the whole lab and you write on the lab, that's fine. You can submit that as well. And there's different ways of submitting the lab. You print them, you work on them, you write on them, you draw your angles with a protractor and all that. And then at the end of the day, when you're done with the lab, you can take a picture with your phone, right? Take a good picture, make sure I can read, and then you can submit the photo for the lab, right? If you don't have a scanner, is what I'm saying. So some people, in fact, there is an app called, I think it's called QR Scanner. I think I have it in here, or QR Reader. Yeah, QR Reader. And the QR Reader is an app that will let you scan a document as well. So in other words, you take a picture of it with a QR reader and it'll convert it to a PDF file, right? So I'll put a link to the QR reader as well, right? So you can take a picture of it and it converts it to a PDF file. So anyway, it's a little bit about the labs. Remember, do not download the eScience labs, download my labs, right? So that's topo maps. Let's go back over here and we'll look at minerals, which will be next week. And the same deal, you'll see that there's a tutorial. You'll go through that, you'll read the different texts in there, and then do not download their assignments, right? You wanna go to our lab, and then you can see here that I have the full lab here as well as the answer sheets as well, right? I also have this goniometer, and a goniometer is a tool we use to measure angles. In fact, I have one over here. So this goniometer is a little tool we use, and initially when you print it, it's going to be a circle. And what I did, I printed it on cardstock, which is kind of a stiffer paper. Or if you print it on regular paper, you can get some manila folder and then glue it onto there to make it harder, right? But then you want to take your scissors and cut these little angles out, right? So that when you actually have a mineral, you can use your goniometer to measure angles. So this is a mineral halite, and halite should have, you can see it's square, it's cubic. Halite should have 90-degree cleavage angles. And so the cleavage direction, so here is for potassium feldspar and some right angles for like galena and halite. And so if I put it on there, I can do it this way. You can see it fits as a 90-degree angle right there, right? In 3 different directions. I also have the mineral fluorite over here. Fluorite, you can, on our goniometer, we'll see that fluorite should be at 109 and 71, right? So we'll find the fluorite on here. And let's see, where's fluorite? Here it is. So 109 and 71. So when I place this on there, oh my goodness, it fits right on there, 109, right? So that kind of helps me identify fluoride. So in your minerals kit that you have with your lab kit, you can use this to kind of help you, or at least give you another way of supporting your hypothesis into identification of the mineral, right? So that's this little goniometer tool. And if I click on the goniometer tool here, oops, I guess I downloaded it here, but you could see that you'll have it there. In fact, there's other things on here. For sediment grain size, that's perfect. We'll use that. Because I know that for sedimentary rocks lab, I gave you those little sand samples. You can use this to identify it's called the Wentworth scale. It's either mud size, clay or silt. Those two go into mud, and then sand size and gravel size, right? And then there's a little estimator for igneous rocks. You'll see how that works for the igneous rocks lab. And here's our goniometer where you have to cut those out. So again, you can print that out, and then you can print it onto this or glue it onto a harder cardstock or something there. All right, so that's a little bit about the labs. And then the other part, just kind of to wrap it up, and I talk about it in the syllabus, so make sure you read the syllabus. But you'll see that for every topic, every chapter that I have a series of video lectures, right? These online lectures. And make sure you watch these. And this is like going to class, right? So ideally you want to, this should be about 3 hours per week of watching my videos, right? Because if you were coming to class, sitting here in the classroom, we'd be here 3 hours a week, right? We meet twice a week for an hour and a half, right? So that would be the 3 hours. And during that time, you would be taking notes, right? And if you have any questions on there, write those down and email them to me, and I can get back to you. And you can see I'm pretty quick at answering your emails. Remember, I answer the emails really quick if you do it in the inbox over here in Canvas, because I'm always on Canvas. So that's an important part. You want to take notes. Take notes on this because the exam questions are based on these video lectures, the ones that are on Canvas here. And if we go to the next item on the modules, every lecture series has a series of questions. And these questions can be answered from your notes of those video lectures. And then also I say that I take these questions and I literally put them on the exam, right? One of the problems, or one of the things students have done in the past, they like this question number 10, if they didn't get it from my lecture, they Google it and they get an answer, but it's the wrong answer. And so usually questions like this are worth like 4 to 6 points on the exam. So make sure you answer those from my video lectures. Don't go searching for these on the internet, because you'll get an answer and it may be, but really it's not the one that I'm looking for, right? So you want to make sure you get the answer that I'm looking for from my video lectures. Okay, so that's pretty much it, right, for the class. Keep the good work up. People have been completing assignments, and so email me with any questions. And again, I'm always checking my inbox in Canvas. All right, well, that's it for now.